And we appreciate it.
A year ago, we was a bunch of coons, and we don't like black people.
We still don't.
but yeah, we threw the most blackish show ever.
And you know what's crazy? It was.
I still don't know the words to that.
That's why I was sitting here laughing at you. I was still sitting here laughing at you because I'm like, he's really trying to say the words of the song.
I don't know the words. I never really sat there and learned it.
But
That's
I think
a shame. Oh, well.
Karaoke version of Dropping His podcast theme song. Jobber Nation.
Who knows the whole song? How about that? Whoever could send me a video of them doing the whole song, I say in t-shirt. There you go.
Okay. Well, welcome to another episode of the Jobber Tears podcast. As always, I'm Janelle from HR, here with Sir Wilkins and Mr. Black. Have you guys missed us? Have you guys been wondering where we were? We just took a week off.
Bro, we did like 2 episodes.
Well, no, not necessarily.
2 episodes just dropped this week.
I meant like live, like here in studio instead of not interviewing people. That's what I meant. But no, we took last week to just kind of take a breather. Just recap everything. jobberslam. It came, it saw, it conquered.
It was a movie.
It was more than a movie. I think I'm scarred for I don't think I can never really go to an indie show that's not more than 50% black on the card. Like it was so I'm so like now I spoiled myself. That's great.
It was the blackest card I've ever been on.
That's a fact. But once again, thank you to all the sponsors. Everyone in attendance that came to jobberslam, it was definitely a historic event. Everyone, and it's still, people are still outpouring love and support and notes to each of us about the show. Thank you to all the podcasters that's done reviews of the show.
Facts.
Like that, I was very surprised people were doing that. And then once again, your new Battle Club champion, Icon champion, Miss Big Swole herself.
Big Swole.
So
shout out to Mike Bostic, your booting.
Shout out to Mike. The Grammar Jerk new episode is up on TikTok. You know, he's going to take over TikTok. It's ridiculous. And then Game Night with Mike and Ellie is coming back. So just be on the lookout for that too shortly.
Shout out to Matt of Your Sports.
Shout out to Matthew. Happy belated, Matt.
Yes.
Before we get started, once again, thank you to everybody that supported jobberslam. As you can see, I'm wearing our official jobberslam t-shirt that is still available on StorylineTees.com, so you can purchase, you can have it for yourself.
Yeah, I remember the days when we only had one merch.
Which is, so no bullshit though, we need to that was my favorite shirt of all time, low key.
We need to bring it back.
Was the DX Pose one. It low key, and that was like the first.
That's because Triple H said something. That's the only reason why you like it. Yeah. That's the only reason why you like it.
Technically,
that's the only reason why you
Stephanie McMahon said something first.
That's the only reason why you like
it. But no, like to me, I think it was our definition of us. Like I love the shirt, but I do absolutely love.
Stephanie said something.
Listen, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But yes, you can catch not only jobberslam merch on there, but we got Coffee Talk. We got Mr. Black sporting Jobber Tier South t-shirt. Shout out to Jobber Tier South. That came up, showed out for jobberslam, so we
basically
appreciate
almost all of. Shout out to Savannah Evans, newly signed to Impact.
Absolutely, sis. We so proud of you. So deserve the opportunity. So super proud of you for that. So real quick, what was your favorite moment of jobberslam?
Come on, man. Do I have to answer that?
Yes. We haven't talked about the show. Like we've kind of been on, like I know I haven't talked about the show. But what was your favorite moment of jobberslam?
Come on, man. You know what's my favorite moment?
I don't.
Me versus O'Shea. Come on, please. Let me ask you your opinion. What was your thoughts when you was watching all of this?
So it was funny because I was by the door and Mikey was sitting next to me. And all we just see is you and O'Shea going at it. And we both look at each other like, he's having his moment. We're going to let him have his moment because he's been waiting for this for months. So, no, it was just so funny. It was just like, woo. It was like, oh, when O'Shea said what he said, I was like, oh. But it just added, that oomph.
And when Yaya won.
And then he hugged you. That I love.
The whole arena erupted. When he won, we hit the Yaya bomb. the whole arena erupted.
Yeah, then he hugged you. That was a real like WWE moment.
Yeah, it was.
Yo, it really was. I sat there, I was like, oh, they really had a moment just now.
That was a real WWE moment.
That was a WWE moment. Like,
Dang.
remember like Stu and Stu Hart would be on the front, the barricade.
Like when Zack Ryder hugged his dad.
Yeah.
Or when Miz hugged his dad.
Yo, everybody hugging their parental. So it's so funny. Sir Wilkins, what was your favorite moment?
Favorite moment was like not like during the show, it was after the show and everybody did the electric slide.
Woo!
Oh yeah.
That was like the most blackest moment I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That was a cookout moment. Like I don't even know how it even started.
It just happened.
It was one of those things that you just had to be there and it just happened. So I have video of like me. And so everybody's like, yo, I'm getting dizzy off of your video. Because then I realized I said, okay, wait, let me stop doing it and record them. And then Darius Carter just walks through and not doing anything but just walking through the crowd. So funny. My favorite moment, I'm not too.
She didn't hear me.
Oh, wow, I don't know if she can or she can't.
She heard me. Anyways.
My first one would be my mom came. And she actually got there the moment we actually literally was
Mama
just,
HR?
Yeah.
Mama HR?
She got in right when we came out. So, because I was sitting at the door like, I was like, is she going to be late? Because I know I'm late to everything. So I was like, she gonna be
That's
late?
where you learned it from.
No. My mom's actually really punctual. She just was coming from work.
Okay.
From the city. So when she came and she sat front row, and like literally since the show, anytime I talk to her, she's just like, you have to understand like how dope that was, like how proud I am of you. And like that for me was just everything. But then the second one was definitely Prolific's entrance. These
Facts. Facts.
I said,
facts.
These niggas having a WrestleMania entrance.
Facts.
I'm over them. But it just was, I don't know, everything leading up to jobberslam.
They use extras.
They all had t-shirts. I was like, it was so choreographed. I was like, this is
and they
dope.
had a flag, and he was like, yo, we about to get this rub, or we gonna get this pop.
Let's get it.
Let's take full advantage of this.
No, so just having them come, like for those that know us, our personal relationships with Prolific, especially with Marcus Marquis and Isaiah Wolf, that we've seen personally literally started from the bottom.
Facts. My brother went to school in one of them.
Yeah, like,
Who?
Brandon. Oh, shit.
Oh.
Who's Brandon?
You're right. Marcus Marquis.
Yeah.
Sorry. But them having their entrance, it just came full circle for me.
Facts.
Like, I got emotional because I was just like, yo, like these are my brothers, and for us to give them
what they did for us for the podcast and everything.
Yeah, like
everybody on that show did something for us.
Yes, every single person on that card has contributed to
in some weird way.
Our podcast in definitely a weird way.
The main event. Tasha Steele did my first ever interview.
Yeah.
And Big Swole wear the Jobber Tears on AEW.
Shirt.
Come on.
She's been
full
family.
circle.
Yeah, everything was just kind of like a moment of like, what's that?
That's hard.
So y'all gave me that for my birthday. Thanks.
What else?
Just it was so good to see a lot of like friends,
Facts.
family came out.
Facts.
Your cousin came. Your cousin came.
Yeah.
Surprised you.
This nigga doesn't pick up phone calls.
Nothing.
But he came to the show.
Say, yo, I'm here. And he's mad high.
Yeah.
He said, you got any snacks?
In the locker room.
I said, I got you. I'll bring you some snacks.
So thank you. You have to understand. He's a picture between me and my brother.
Yeah, no, because he came over, he introduced me. So I said, oh, hey, cuz. And then he definitely looked high as fuck. And I was just like, this is an interesting mix we got here.
Yes.
But thank you to every person that came, that traveled to the show. Like there were people for absolutely donations. People that didn't come to the show still bought a ticket.
They came from Delaware.
People came up from Delaware, came up from Maryland, came up from Boston.
Shout out to Kiki for sponsoring from Texas.
Absolutely, thank you so much. So we definitely.
Shout out to Kiki.
We definitely look forward.
That's crazy that Kiki don't live in New York, but she still helped and sponsor the show, right?
It was real nice of her.
It was a very nice gesture, and we appreciate it.
A year ago, we was a bunch of coons, and we don't like black people.
We still don't.
But yeah, we threw the most blackest
show
ever.
And you know what's crazy? It was even a moment of like even the talent saying like, I've never been in such a space
Exactly.
of people that look like me, that talk like me, that I can, thank you to Shane Taylor Promotions for coming up also as well. And
gotcha.
giving advice to, talent, talking to talent, because that's really what it's all about. It's really about networking.
What size are you?
What size am I? Like a guy shirt? Extra large. I would get a 2X.
Shout out to Joseph, Shore Season Podcast.
I would get a 2X.
Shout out to Tay with her rainbow hair. It was good seeing Tay though.
North Carolina.
Yeah, North Carolina came up. So
Sis
like,
came out. Shout out to Jeffrey Taylor.
Jeffrey.
# suit.
Oh my God.
He had his own chant. Like,
Yeah.
And it was honestly it was a lot of people's first times, coming to a show. Jeffrey first time doing ring announcing in the Northeast. Yeah. Swole's first time main eventing. When she told us that before the show, I said, "What?"
Shout out to
I had no idea.
Mystique, what's that dude's name?
Mysterious Q from Texas.
A brother underneath a mask. Come on, you got root for him.
It's fine under that mask. He really don't need a mask, to be honest with you.
I ain't gonna front. He got good look though. I ain't gonna front. Like he really don't need a mask. I don't know why he wearing a mask, but him wearing a mask,
it's probably a tribute
it's good.
To something.
And now
it's different.
And now later on when he does a hair versus mask match, come on, Rey Mysterio pop.
Future booking.
Think about it. When Rey Mysterio took off that mask, all the girls got wet. Think about it. Rey Mysterio was like mid to upper card on WCW when he took off the mask.
He was definitely maybe mid card.
He was mid card.
He was definitely mid card.
Upper mid card.
His best. People would never deny this. His best matches were in WCW, but his best years as a wrestler were in WWE.
Yeah. Because I think he grew more into himself. I think on that.
He was young.
The E platform.
People forget like Rey Mysterio was like 20 something in WCW.
That's a fact because all these niggas is like 40 now.
Just like
and then for them to be like 20 years in the game. Where?
Yeah. Comparison just like AJ. His better matches was in Impact. I mean, sorry, TNA. But his better years was in New Japan and WWE. Like he put on more of he became more of a mat general, a more like he know how to do all the little stuff. Yes.
He was more seasoned.
Yes.
But yes, JobberSlam 2 2022. It is gonna go down.
JobberSlam 2 Juice.
I think it should be paid in full or
shout out to KJ Claremont, my guy. But yeah, like it should be JobberSlam 2.
Yo, so we still have not figured out this mystery.
Yo, listen,
and the guy was at the show.
He's lying. He's lying.
He was at the show.
He was at the show.
Yo, listen.
I think it was the dude that
and it makes it even more creepier.
You sure?
Than that.
It was the guy that we signed his T-shirt.
I didn't even see.
He would have said that. Thank you for signing my T-shirt.
I didn't
He didn't have to say that. He never said.
Because you came. Because you came and told me to sign, and I was like,
it probably was him. Yo, shout out to him. I feel like a celebrity. Like I low key had to get like, yo, let me get a piece of paper. Cause I had to practice my signature. Cause I was like, let me not use my real name. Day.
No, I use your stage name.
So now I have to go home and practice the Mr. Black signature.
Wow.
But yo, the fact that he did that, it wore my little tum-tum. Shout out to Simon Miller for that. But next year, JobberSlam 2, paid in full.
2022.
Simon Miller versus Sora Wilkins. It's gonna happen.
Yes, let's get through this COVID.
I ain't gonna say it's gonna happen. It will happen because I put it in the atmosphere. It was a great match.
Absolutely. So for those that were not fortunate to join
shout out to my guy Weed and Wrestling, aka the Special Ed Kids.
Those that were not able to join us, you can watch it now on Title Match Network.
You get a 7-day trial.
7-day trial period. You can watch it 7 times if you feel like it. Or you can keep subscribing because once again, all the Battle Club shows are on there. Also, Mission Pro Wrestling is on there. There are a lot of different promotions and shows on Title Match Network. So if you do feel like you want to have another streaming availability, definitely go.
It's pretty affordable too. It's like $20 for the whole year, $60,
which is not bad.
Show you XL.
If it's a guy's, I can do an XL. If it's like a girl's, a 2XL. But I would do a 2XL to be safe because I do have a chest, and sometimes I forget that. But yes, Title Match Network has JobberSlam, so make sure that if you were not there to go on there and watch. Once again, all feedback is good feedback. We definitely want, not only our friends and family and fans to let us know what they think. We definitely appreciate that. So a little church announcements before we do get started in this week's episode. Tomorrow, real life time. We Are Wrestling has their first show ever out in Ridgefield Park. So shout out to Peter Rosado for throwing this amazing show. We are sponsoring the match between Ken Broadway representing that HOG versus Richard Holiday from MLW. So make sure to come out. Tickets are still on sale right now. Tickets might be still at the door too, but once again, you can hit up Peter Rosado of Your Sports Show for more information. But we will be in the building. Your Sports will be in the building. We're both sponsoring the show, so make sure to come out and support. Also, too, we are fast tracking to SummerSlam weekend. We'll be at Legends Bar next week. Is it next weekend?
Next week,
Jesus Christ. Next weekend, we'll be at Legends Saturday night, not Sunday. Saturday night will be SummerSlam, so we'll be at Legends for that.
Let's get the dates out of it so people can get hyped about it. So, Friday, SmackDown is going in September. SmackDown will be here at MSG.
Yes, September 10th.
We are doing a viewing party for it. Also, a pregame if you're going to MSG, and also an after party for it as well.
So Legends will be lit all night long. So it's Friday, September the 10th. SmackDown will be at the Garden. Make sure, and it is what it is. You must be vaccinated in order to go to the Garden. So those that do have tickets, just make sure you have that information that you need. But if you are not going to the Garden, you can join the boys at Legends for the pre-happy hour.
You going to MSG, right?
Yeah. I actually flying back into New York. We're flying back to New York that day. So yeah, like literally coming from the airport, dropping stuff off at home, going to the Legends for the pregame, and then Legends will have the viewing party, and then the after party will be back at Legends. So September 10th. But once again, we start off with SummerSlam next weekend, Saturday, and then are we doing NXT as well?
Yeah.
So SummerSlam weekend next weekend at Legends, and then September 10th. Legends again for the pre-post party for SmackDown Live. And then also to AEW will be in New York. They'll be in Jersey the 15th? Yeah, no, the 14th or the 15th is that Wednesday for Dynamite, and then the following Wednesday they'll be in Queens at the Arthur Ashe Stadium. So tickets are still on sale for that. Make sure to support, just wrestling. Like what you like, love what you love.
And don't be a dick.
All right. So let's jump into this week. What do you guys want to talk about first? You want to talk about how... Actually, I know what to start with. Shout outs to our good new friend, Alfred. That we had interviewed from Forbes this past week. I do want to give him a quick shout out because I fangirled a little bit, but I just love when I see people of color being in positions that can actually make change and do things that no one else is doing. So I really, appreciate
someone of color who knows the culture.
Yes, and that is pro-black, and he was very clear about that. So I appreciate that because sometimes presenting that can sometimes people will backlash and turn it into a different narrative. So no, definitely appreciate that. So no, first things first, let's talk about your rapping boy, Max.
Man, honestly, it wasn't even that serious.
So if you guys have been living in a bubble, what Matt Caster of The Acclaim he spit a hot 16 bar on AEW Dark, and he did mention, mental health with Simone from the Olympics, and there was another thing he did mention too in the rap, but people...
He mentioned the Duke rape case.
Okay, yeah, so, so that happened, and the internet went crazy, and they was coming at him. And, what AEW ended up doing was they took it off of YouTube, edited it out, which if they felt the way about it from the jump, they should have did that first. But they edited it and then put it back on YouTube. But then now there is rumbles of him being suspended.
Yeah, for 2 months.
For 2 months because of it. Are you going to play the rap? Yo.
You claim mental health like Simone Biles. The side gal's gonna pay the cost. I'm I'ma treat those bitches like Duke lacrosse. The blondes say they the best, but those dudes are.
Have you ever seen the
better
video?
than VCR kids.
Matt Seidel's
What's that
face.
smell here in North
It's what's cracking me up.
Oh, wait, that's Julia's. Oh!
I mean,
So my question to the table: who's at fault?
I mean,
Is it his fault for making a rap that everyone that knows in rap things can get personal, things can get heated, or is it on the fault of AEW for now kind of backtracking a little bit only because the internet felt the way about it?
that's how today's modern society is. Everyone is punks. Like, for example, like this goes back to the whole the Sami Guevara situation. AEW wasn't even a thing. It wasn't even thought of. It was literally Ring of Honor. It wasn't even called Impact during the time. It was called TNA Wrestling during that. It was making a weird transition. So the Young Bucks weren't the Young Bucks. Kenny wasn't Kenny during that time. So all this stuff. And what happened? The internet, he was forced to get suspended for something he did years ago. Okay. That is similar to that situation. This one is no more like, with the whole mental health, that was a joke, with the whole rape joke, he should know better. He should know better, but it's kind of in the lane of like, he's a rapper. That's his gimmick. Rappers are known saying something outrageous. But we live in a time where, you just gotta be careful what you say because like people are more sensitive. It's all about the bottom dollar. Because if that kept them, it would have hurt the ratings. We all know that AEW scared because Nyla Rose should have been champion way longer and dominated that division. But guess what? Little backlash from that, they had to do what they have to do. Simple. So do I think that it was that serious enough to cause him to get suspended, all that backlash? No, but I understand because, I got to look at it from the victims who may have been raped or something like that. Or somebody that, myself, who deal with mental health. But I didn't understand that when he made that mental health joke, it was a joke. He was just making a similarity to that. I make you have mental health illness like Simone. Cool, I get that metaphor. It was a hot bar. But, again, AEW
Would they have
had to do
said
what it had to
something if
do.
it was somebody else? Like if it wasn't, like if you can honestly insert anyone else's name in that and it'd be something. Or would it have been like, oh, okay, whatever? Because I had listened to, because y'all know I love me some Jim Cornette. And Jim Cornette had mentioned, he said he he didn't have the issue with the Simone line. It was the rape one.
Exactly.
He was just like,
Exactly.
that one was a bit rough.
Exactly, because everybody's so sensitive because a lot of rape
Because he was
victims.
like, him
Yeah.
mentioning Simone was more recent, so that he understood that. So when he said that, I said, oh, okay, but the rape one, he was like, ugh,
Yeah, that was a little bit
rough.
too taboo.
No, it was the rape line.
It was the rape line.
Because Charlotte said Simone the week after.
Right.
On Raw.
On Raw.
But she wasn't like.
It wasn't like a diss or
It wasn't
anything.
a diss.
She just was mentioning it.
She was doing the same thing. She was comparing the two.
Yeah.
She was like, yo, when you're up top, you got to deal with some mental stuff, like, what some
Yeah.
shit she was saying. The problem is it was the rape line.
Yeah.
And then the pussy line after.
Yeah.
He didn't even get to say it though.
Yeah, but
it was a.
You know what you were trying to say, but that Seidel's face when he
His
said
face?
the rape line, I was like, whoa, yo, bro, what are you talking about?
Seriously,
Exactly.
if you have not seen the
Yo,
clip,
it's hilarious.
watch the clip and watch Seidel's face. Is
was
really what did it
hilarious.
for me.
But
because I've never watched it.
you know what it is?
I just heard the rap, and I was like, yo, his face.
Let me ask you guys a question.
Shit.
Do you think that we got too sensitive as people? I'm talking about our generation.
We didn't get too sensitive. The problem, the thing is, like, when people say we got too sensitive, it's not we got too sensitive that we evolve, because certain things are wrong. Because if you want to keep it a buck, we evolved from calling black people niggers and Negroes.
But so Wilkins. Us black people call each other niggas.
But that's a different conversation. That's not the same thing at all.
But so Wilkins, man. Why using the oppressor's words to suppress your fellow man?
But the thing about it, it's not nigger, it's nigga. That's the difference.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not. But I'm not even. But that's not what I'm saying, though. So the biggest thing is that you have to evolve.
Yeah.
You have to evolve as people, and then yes, you're gonna be like, oh, we're gonna say no, we're not. We're just evolving the way that we think about certain things, and that's the problem. Everybody keeps saying, oh, we're getting sensitive. No, it's
just certain shit ain't funny no
shit
more.
ain't funny. Like, you're not gonna fuck 11-year-old and you're a 21-year-old person. But they did that in Roman times.
So with Jim,
And they did that in
what Jim
the
had
90s.
mentioned on the show too, in that
R.
same
Kelly.
clip, was that the joke that essentially got him, removed from NWA was a joke from a Dukes of Hazzard episode from 25 years ago. So he was just like, he understood. He was just like, but he was just like, he getting the same treatment that I got for some shit.
Right.
And his, really my issue was, it was pre-fucking tape.
But then that's another thing that I have a problem with.
So when Tony Khan ass was interviewed, and then he was just like, well, I didn't, like, he tried to be like something like, I didn't know, because, I edit and focus on Dynamite, and it was just like, but then you can't be mad at old boy for saying what he said.
But then the thing about it, your team is not doing their job.
Yeah,
though.
Somebody should have lost their job. Somebody should have been suspended. If Matt Caster, and unfortunately, when you're in a tag team, when your ass is sitting down, your tag team partner is really sitting down too. So now Anthony Bowen's ass is now going to be probably MIA for the same amount of time. When the person that should have been paying attention and editing the fucking video is now sitting here still
but
living
then again,
and doing.
No, I understand that, but I also feel like I also feel you are right, but I also feel like it also fall down on him. You understand? Yeah. Like you kind of have to know better to do better.
No, and I get that, and I understand.
I get it.
Like all across the board.
Yeah, all across the board. But sometimes though, with this whole cancel culture, we do something that Nick Cannon said on the Breakfast Club. He said it prior to that, and Charlamagne been saying this forever. Yo. Cancel culture is stupid because nobody's learning nothing. Because you so quick to, I want to cancel you, get you off the internet, blah, blah, blah. Why don't you say, you know what? You take a time out, let me educate you. Because how can we grow if we don't take the time out to teach?
But the thing is that's easier to blame somebody. That they threw him under the bus.
They definitely did.
The company threw him under the bus.
They definitely did.
Because the problem
is, and that's not okay.
Tony should have taken blame for that.
Like, my bad.
And still punished Max on it.
A month,
and be like, yo, bro,
you
can't be doing stuff like this.
Right.
And then for now on, you're gonna have to tell me your raps. Moving
because that happened with I think when the Usos in New Day did they raps thing, they had to submit that shit.
But that makes sense.
They had to, but like you said, it definitely is on both sides, and I definitely think as an owner, you got to take accountability for that. You cannot sit there and be like, well, I didn't know. So you can't act blindly and then still punish the guy for something that you clearly dropped the ball on too. Like, that's not okay.
It's his fault. It's also the company's fault. They both should take blame.
Yeah, it's 50-50.
But what I learned, big bitches don't care about you.
I thought you said big bitches don't care about you.
Nah,
but
big girls love me.
But the thing is, it was an issue. It was an issue, and it should have been It should have been solved. It should have been solved better than the way that they did it. I personally think it falls on Tony.
Yeah.
More than it falls on Max.
Of course.
Because Max been getting away with everything for such a long
time.
Exactly.
Right. That's not the. I don't think that's even the first time that nigga said something probably really like.
But the problem is, the only reason why Tony's saying it because the IWC got involved.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And they wanted to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the reason why.
Because then he can play the card of, well, I listen to the fans. I do what the fans like. And that shit. And it's just like,
but WWE does the same thing too.
But sometimes what you think the fans want and what they projecting may not be best for business either.
But that's the cool thing to do. That's the cool thing to do now. Because look at the baby. The baby made some.
I don't know what the fuck wrong with
listen,
that.
the baby made that saying I had that with the whole age joke. People. Someone said this. Oh, you saying that make people with AIDS feel uncomfortable? I'm looking like, well, just like when you're in the club and they say, all the skinny girls raise your hands. I'm like, all right, talk to this. It's a call to action.
But the thing is, you don't understand. You don't understand the bigger picture on that.
There is a bigger picture.
You can't be on a bigger platform like that and do that.
Regardless,
it's called a show where I'm painting all POVs. I understand what the truth is, but at the same exact time, we still gotta say every POV.
But what's the point of saying it at all? That's the point. The point is when he did that,
unnecessary.
It was unnecessary and stupid.
All right.
Because imagine if you were there and you were just like, you would have a confused ass face. You be like, wait, where am I?
All right. The first
And
part.
then what fucked me up was that he tried to apologize, then took the shit down.
Right. The
Like,
first
what?
part, the AIDS thing, I'm like, all right, that's
Nigga,
a
keep
little
the
bit
same
different.
energy.
Like, all right, that one I get because they've been saying that for years in many different places I've been to.
No,
but
I don't get that because.
But let me finish.
But the thing about it, you're saying ignorant shit because.
Let
you're
me
saying,
finish.
No, but you're telling people that they're gonna die the next day.
He
or the
never.
next-
Whoa!
He said
no,
2 weeks.
He never said that.
What did he say?
He never said that you're gonna die in 2 weeks. He said this: if you don't have AIDS and no deadly disease that make you go die in 2 weeks, shout it out.
There is no deadly disease that makes you die in 2 weeks.
Well,
That's the
COVID.
point.
Yes.
What?
Cancer.
Cancer, you don't die in 2 weeks.
If the cancer is
if
definitely
stage 4.
accelerated.
It's
Exactly.
almost and then
Stop
why did you
it.
mention AIDS then? In the same set, because the thing about it, 90% of the things that you get, you don't die from in 2 weeks. Cancer is like stage 4, even stage 4 cancer, you don't die in 2 weeks. The nigga is stupid. The baby's a dumbass.
So
that was a
I forgot
dumbass
who
comment.
I read it from or where I read it from, but somebody was just like, no, I think it was 50 Cent. He was just like, yeah, that nigga done got PR, so ain't nobody there to help him because
he's
he gonna sink or
stupid.
swim.
That's
The
what it
second
is.
part wasn't necessary though. It definitely wasn't necessary
the
at
whole
all.
thing just was. But
he's-
my
no,
thing
it's
was
'cause
like,
he's
listen,
dumb.
you
The first part, he could have been like, all right, cool, quick apology. But the second part was just like, all right, now you just pushing. Like, why you just mention my sucking
But
dick
then-
for?
But my thing was is
If it
that
wasn't if it
it,
wasn't
like
they sucking
listen,
dick.
it's not like there's no take back.
Yo,
Like you can't sit there.
Someone said this: COVID, you dies in 2 weeks. I know people got COVID next day they die, so stop it.
But the thing about COVID, you can die into, but that's just something brand new. He's talking about sexual transmitted diseases. That's what he was trying to say.
He was talking about niggas that night that was gonna be fucking each other.
Exactly. That's what he was talking about. And there's no sexually transmitted
What
disease.
you get having sex that night? He did not say that.
But that's like
That's
if
what
you
you're
were
implying.
there,
That's what you're implying.
If I was there, I was just like, damn.
How you got that? Yo, this is exactly what I be talking about the internet. Y'all get your own narrative and put it to that. He said
No, that's
exactly
just
this.
what
He said if you don't have STD, nothing that can kill you in 2 weeks, raise your hand. When do you talk
But
about him
you-
having sex
he
tonight?
He just said if you don't have an STD and something that's gonna kill you in 2 weeks. What does that mean? What does that mean?
That doesn't mean that he never said that you're gonna have sex tonight.
But I'm talking about it means that you have an STD that's gonna kill you in 2 weeks. And STD, there's no STD that kills you in 2 weeks. There's literally people who live with AIDS and HIV their entire lives.
We understand that.
You know that.
Yes.
I know a couple people with that.
Yeah, it's like you literally live with that shit your entire.
It just was an
It was
ignorant ass
stupid.
comment. But like I said, my
But
thing
it
was
wasn't serious enough to like the way that they make it. Like cancel culture, it's like it's a trend. All right, the same exact way that everybody want to call Nick Cannon a coon and all of that, blah blah blah. You know what 50 did? Yo, he has no PR. Instead of him being part of the internet, he said, you know what? I'm gonna be an older brother, take him under my wing, and teach him better. We don't do that. We don't. We don't educate.
but
We
then
don't take
also-
the younger
but
people,
then-
or people around us and say, yo,
but-
let's do this
But
together.
then I challenge that and say there are the young culture that thinks they know it all and they won't accept the help either. You have to always see the other side of the coin. It could be where somebody, you can mentor and you're here and you're telling the person, like, listen, I can tell somebody tomorrow, like, listen, I'm here if you want to put on something, you want to do something, you want to put on a show,
Right.
I'm here for you. But if they're not receptive and if they don't take what you're offering, then that's on them. That's on
At
the
least
person.
you know that you did your part.
No, right, but I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm just saying that at the end of the day, it's a twofold thing. Like you can't sit like 1 minute you can't be like, oh, we don't teach them, but then on the other side, there's niggas out here that don't want to be taught.
Look, at the end of the day, this is the one thing I always preach. All you could do is plant the seeds. Some seeds,
You
seeds.
can bring the person to the
right,
river. You can't make
right.
them drink water.
Let me finish. Some seeds, depending where it lands, it takes a while just to like it takes a while to grow. Just like a rose in the concrete. It may not get the same
Nigga,
nutrient.
a rose does
Let
not
me
grow in the
finish.
concrete. Why do
Let
people
me
keep saying this?
finish. Let me finish.
Go ahead, go.
Dang. Just like in a rose in the concrete. It may not get the proper nutrients, proper water, but eventually it does. Certain plants, certain seeds you plant people takes a while. Me saying like how many young boys I talk to right now, certain stuff I say a year ago, they come to me now, yo, black son, took me a while to realize that you was right. Simple. Only thing you can do is use your part.
But he did. But the thing about it, people told him to do his part. The one thing we're gonna have to move on. He apologized and said some dickhead shit after. When he got the backlash and when he was like, nah, my nigga, he said some ignorant shit. The nigga is stupid. That's what it comes down to. The nigga is dumb.
On his Instagram story, we'll move on. On his Instagram story, this nigga was, he had a comment. He was just like, he was playing some song, and it basically was just like, I'm unbothered by any of you
And that's the problem.
And that was on him.
He's because he's fucking stupid. And the thing about it, he thinks he's invincible.
When you have when you have the little chip on your shoulder, and that's the one thing when you're humble and when you listen, it's just like now that we did a show, we don't want people to look at us differently because guess what? Like we still humble, we still who we are. It's certain people like when they get to the fame, they get to the fortune, they have a chip on their shoulder, and they take that shit and they run with it, and they not the same person anymore. And that's essentially sometimes that what happens, especially in the rap game. You know, especially when you get money, you got all this other shit.
What if money just revealed the true character of you?
Listen, I always say we'll move on. When people show you who they are, believe it.
Exactly.
There you go. But anyway, let's move on. So once again, WWE went through another round of releases. Some of the major names in that release was Bronson Reed, Mercedes Martinez. My dear old Bobby Fish is gone. Amongst a few other NXT personnel. Well, athletes and talents and all that stuff.
About that?
What are your thoughts on it? My question to the table is are we mad that, like, what are we mad about? Because I just feel like people pick and choose. Are we mad about the fact that they got released, or should we be excited that they got released and now are able to do other things?
So this is my thing. I understand the business side of everything that's being done right now.
Of course.
Because from what I read and what I hear, I think what's the name sent it to you in the group chat. They're trying to get under a certain number when it comes to how much they're paying for contracts and how many people are under contract. They're looking at the books and they're going, if we're paying $100 million for all combined contracts, why the fuck are we paying $100 million for all these contracts?
It's just like the Knicks right now.
But that's what I'm getting is we have. I'm making up names. We have Jimmy, Tommy, Faye, not Faye, but like Johnny, Stevie, all these. We have like 20 people right here who literally we're paying them to go to the gym, and they're in NXT. Mm-hmm. They haven't been on TV. They're not fully developed. They don't fit what we're trying to do. All right, we got to cut
Not
them.
all the people on the list, it was like that.
No, hold on, but let me get to that. That's the business side of the thing. Or, for instance, this person hasn't been on TV for how long, and we're not getting, and things are not going a certain type of way. All right, let's get rid of them.
Or they're injury prone.
Oh, they're injury prone. Or they're not. It's not working. But so it feels like a video game. Like we're cutting people. Like you're playing Madden GM mode. I'm gonna get rid of this player. Just get rid of this player. My whole thing is that the human side of this whole thing has completely been taken away from it. Where you have people who move down there their entire life to be down there. You don't work out something where let's restructure your contract. Because I've heard that's what some of them are going to end up doing. We're going to bring back people and restructure their contract. But a lot of times, because I've said this, I was like, they're probably cutting people and they're going to restructure people's contract.
Right.
That's what they're probably going to do. But the human side of the situation has been completely removed. It is super business-like about this. That's my only issue with it. I don't know what the conversation with is, but this is rumors where people just call up like, yo, I don't want to do this, but you're being cut. You're being cut. And you don't know that person's impact in the locker room. You don't know what that guy really does for the company outside of the ring and outside of being on television. That's my whole thing with it, because it seems like a video game Nick Khan is playing right now. But I understand the money side of the thing, where there's wasted dollars. Do you have a guy that's not on TV for how long and it's not working? So that's my opinion on the whole thing.
But the thing about it, it's easy for Nick Khan to do what he does because he has no emotional connection to the people.
But that's what I'm saying, because the lack of the emotional connection is the issue.
Yeah, and then they said that Vince may have the last say, but if he's a businessman, he's kind of understanding the bigger picture. Like, yeah, I got to do what I have to do.
Nick Khan was brought on
to
make the money.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And, like I said, it's unfortunate. But then my issue with it is that everyone gets so, like, upset. And it's just like, rah, rah. And it's just like, But what are you really mad about? Like, because these people are still people that are athletic, they're talented.
Right.
They can still take what they've learned from WWE and their experience in NXT and go somewhere else and flourish.
But some people
else.
feel like, oh, you can't do that because the world's still coming back, this, that, a third.
But then that's an excuse because, like, look, like, there's so many other promotions that are out there. There's so many other things. And also, too, there is life after wrestling. It's not... It's, you know, some people, it's their dream to be on the E. They've done it. They've completed it. Mission accomplished. And they move on. Like, it's just so many. I always feel like it's always the negative side of things instead of just being like, yo, this person got released. Yo, they could go X, Y, and Z. They can do this. They can do that. They can go to their daughter's dance recital now. Like, they can do certain things they have not been able to do.
And guess what? You know, how was it a treat to see Zack Ryder on a GCW show? And that is a show where, like, a lot of people locally go there all the time.
But it's
a treat like that.
It's even bigger than that because, for instance, people were mad about Bronson Reed, right?
Right.
And I see both sides of him getting released.
I do too.
Right.
But Homeboy's about to get paid.
Right.
Because the thing about it, he could probably make as much as he was making in NXT or more. Because now you have no chains on your brand.
Right.
You can do anything that you want to do. You can do a pop-up in AEW. You can pop up you can work for New Japan Pro Wrestling. You can do a bunch of shit. Be on Impact. Your brand has gone to the next level. Remember when I always mention this. Remember when Daniel Bryan got released the first time?
Oh yeah,
and he told Vince like, "Yo, thank you. I'm about to make this bread."
Exactly.
Because now your brand is through the roof. And then, like you said, hey, you know what? Maybe wrestling isn't for me.
Right.
Maybe I can become an artist like I wanted to become.
Right.
Or I can travel the world. I can do this. I can do that. I just think it's always the viewpoint is always negative when it doesn't have to be, because then in the same breath it's the same people that are upset about the release but then get upset when they're not being used. It's like you gotta pick and choose. Pick your battles.
Be humane about the way you're gonna release these people.
See, but that's the hard part about it, because it's still
the
a
thing
business
about
at the end of the day.
this is not our mothers and dad generation no more. All right? Let's be serious. Our generation lack the human connection. We do. A lot of us is all about what can this person do, doggy world, and that's it.
But
We just gotta accept this is how business is done. How many times that even the whole COVID, business shut down night and just like that. Business been there for years, shut down, disappear. I guess I'm not trying to be like human about it, but this last couple of years taught me that, yo, change is gonna come. You don't have time to just sit down and just sorrow about it. You're like, all right, cool. You do what you have to do and you move on. Look at Drew McIntyre. Look at Jinder Mahal. What are you gonna do? You gonna fumble or you become a better person?
But Jinder said that because the door is always open. If you get hot on the indies and do something on the indies, you could go back.
That's why I've been loving. Listen, I have a fond new love for Tyler Breeze. But that's more because of up, down, down. But like he's been saying, like, listen, they gave the opportunity. I'm not, it's not regrettable. Like, I appreciate it. The door's always open. It's never been.
Tyler's a little different though. Tyler was there for like 10 years.
Yeah.
And he made a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
But still,
Tyler, of course he's gonna say that because he got a good life. Tyler has a good life.
Still.
And that's why he's a little happy. We're talking more about
I just want him to stay up.
Tyler sells Pokemon cards.
As he should.
He makes boo-boo amount of money.
There's money in that.
Boo-boo amount of money. You know how much shit is a first edition Charizard cost?
Old school holographic, like.
First edition holographic Charizard. You know how much that costs?
How much is it?
Definitely has to be like $1 million. It definitely has
it's
to be
a lot
something.
of money.
It has to be
that
something.
first, like, you have to understand, first edition packs in any series of cards, money.
Like, I wish I'd have thought about that.
But the thing, like I said,
niggas don't, and besides, like you said, because you work for the E, you know how many connections you're gonna get. Look at John Morrison. There was similar guys who look just like him, like Johnny Mundo. Johnny Impact.
We're not doing this today.
Like this guy looked just like him.
Like, I really was hyped. Like, wait, there's somebody else that looks like him. Like,
nah, stop. But nah. But you see how that he uses brand recognition and opens up for many different places.
It's equity to your brand. That's what it is, and I understand why people are frustrated because we're still in COVID. If somebody losing their job.
Right,
somebody,
but the thing is,
it's they don't know what the future is gonna hold for them.
Right, but then, let's talk about, like, all these people. Like, it's just hard because, like, when COVID first started, like, when I tell you, when I lost my job, the world just stopped. It was just like, what the fuck? But then you had so many businesses that really kept people on throughout the entire pandemic. Like, the job I have now, he did not fire a single person.
Well, but the thing about it, your job is the humane side of things.
Exactly.
That's what I'm trying to. That's what it is. It's old school. The old school way of like doing things, of looking out.
Exactly. The old school way was to be sensitive. The old school way would be like, all right, cool. I won't do this to you, but we're going to work something out.
But
people talked more back in the day. Now, there's a lot of people like, yo, this person did this to me, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be inhuman about it.
But also, too, we may not know the full story of things.
There's a lot.
It could be conversations and things that have been said that, granted, on social media and on the internet, it comes off really abrasive and blunt, and like, there it is. But to be fair,
like
we don't know
the
certain
Bray Wyatt
conversations.
situation.
Oh, yeah, that took a turn.
But so the rumor has it is that. So hold on, before I get there, you know what happened with Fox and CM Punk?
No, what happened?
Because that went south quickly.
So you probably heard about it, but people who are listening, the rumor has it is that Fox came to WWE about bringing CM Punk back.
Mm-hmm.
I think I heard this story years ago.
No. This is like yesterday type of shit.
Yeah.
So Fox was just like, yo.
No, I don't believe that.
Let's bring CM Punk back because he's going to give a boost in the ratings. WWE pushed back and was just like, nah, we don't really need him. We got Cena. As you see what Cena's doing right now, all ticket sales went up because Cena is Cena.
Right.
Correct.
Edge is here.
Put some respect on his name.
Edge's ticket sales are going up. So they showed the chart basically like, yo, these are the numbers with Cena and Edge, so we don't really need CM Punk. And then Fox was like, nah, y'all need CM Punk.
Right.
And I think either Fox threw a number at them. No, CM Punk threw a number about the number he would do to come back, and then WWE was just like, nah, that number is way too high, and then Fox was just like, we'll pay half of it. We'll pay half of that number, and to bring him back, and then WWE came back and was just like, all right, real talk, we don't like the nigga. He's toxic in the locker room. Nobody else in here likes him. We don't want him here at all. He's moody. He's an asshole. We do not want him in our locker room. He is a cancer. And then Fox was like, so basically Fox was on some like, so you couldn't tell us in the beginning? So supposedly that relationship between Fox and WWE has been low-key on the rough side right now. They might not, the deal that they have right now might not be renewed. But WWE low-key doesn't give a fuck because
they got Peacock.
No. Amazon and Apple are fiending. Let me tell you,
Amazon Prime, and it's been doing very well. So I have Amazon Prime, and especially during the football season, they play the Sunday night games, they'll play the Thursday night games, and stuff like that.
I agree, but at some point,
wrestling got on Amazon Prime.
You don't think that these companies talk? Like,
but everyone talks.
No. You don't think that they actually talk? They was like, yo, listen, you think they don't get that same bag again twice with all that stuff that they do with the ratings? No, they're not. USA probably looking at that. What the hell you doing with Monday Night Raw? This is crap. The ratings going down each and every week. I get it. Not everybody's watching it. But then when you go across the pond, why is AEW wrecking a million and Raw having less ratings? Look, they may not care, but the bag will not be the same. I'm telling you.
No, the bag, because you have to understand you have to understand about why AEW is getting money right now and why WWE continues to get money.
Right.
We have to look at it at a bigger picture. We're at a place, for some odd reason, consistent content is scarce. Mm-hmm. Wrestling is the only form of content that is around all year round. Like, you'll have your hot points, which is between January and like up to April.
Yeah.
Because the Road to Royal Rumble, and then
it slows down.
And then also AEW has, what do they have around that time?
That's Double or Nothing.
Double or Nothing. So you have that thrown in.
And they had Evolution in February. Because they do only 4 pay-per-views a year.
So you have that around that time. So that's a hot month. But regardless, throughout the time, you have a hot year. So wrestling is consistent content. And you can say what you want to say. Yes, 1 million is bad, but you're getting 1 million to 1.5 million people to tune into your show.
Yeah.
During a time where you have, like you said, streaming services all over, where people have on-demand content. So if I can get somebody to watch my show live, 1.5 million to 2 million, granted you want more than that, you're expecting it to get more than that, but you're getting that, you're always going to have the bag one way or another. That's the reason why, because it's all year round.
And also to your point, going back when you spoke about brand recognition and brand awareness, WWE is a brand. You put that on the table, that's money, regardless of ratings, regardless of what's going on in the world or what else is going on in the world of wrestling. If an executive from Amazon rolled up to Stamford, Connecticut, they're there to throw the bag at them.
So you think CM Punk is gonna ruin the locker room of AEW?
So let's talk about it a little bit. With
I don't think so.
With Rampage starting this Friday in Pittsburgh, and then they will be at the United Center next Friday, I believe, which is rumored to be CM Punk's debut. Do I think I just want to be the fly on the wall where him and Cole Cabana walk around each other.
Cole Cabana has to give him the hands, B.
Like, I just want to be that fly, like, yo, what the fuck is going down? But do I think, I don't know, CM Punk gives me the loner vibes, which necessarily...
It doesn't matter. Colt has to give him the hands,
which
B.
doesn't necessarily always is a good thing, especially like when you're in the business of like learning and in the business of wanting to share, ideas and being comfortable in that space. And like how everyone that we've known that's either been on Dark, been on Dynamite, been on AEW television, they've always said it has an indie feel to it. That's the one thing consistently, every single person that we know that's been there and experienced, they said it has an indie feel. Do I think CM, I don't know. I think, I don't know. Like I said, him being the loner vibe, he might just be in and out, and that'll be it. Like he may only be around to the end of the year and then be like, oh, okay, I'm done. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't see long-term thing with him. I just see the pop value of it. I just see it as a temporary Band-Aid fix.
And people and like...
Or like a drug.
Here comes the bigger picture.
What?
Here comes the bigger
They
picture.
fucked up my commission again. They fucked up my check for like 3 weeks on my shoot
Oh,
job.
no, you better tell them.
So now they finally sent me like, oh, we're going to retrograde you. That's my... He actually put, my fault. That was my bad in my email.
That's good.
My bad, guys.
No, that's good. Listen, I'm all about getting the money. So
I'm going to say
glad.
this. People say, oh, no, I hope he's not... Listen, y'all was not saying none of this crap that he was toxic until recently. So
I said that.
No.
I've been saying that since
No. Let me finish.
When he left, niggas was talking like that.
Let me finish. Majority of them was not talking like this until recently. So stop it. Because y'all was begging to have CM Punk back on WWE for mad years. Now, all of a sudden, he's toxic. He this, that, and third. Yo, listen. When somebody put a bad taste in your mouth, and everyone said it was like, yo, he just stopped talking to me. That's it. That's the only thing that everyone kept on saying. Everyone never would say, yo, they never heard him talk crazy about them, anything like that. Except for The Miz. But outside of that.
And Cole Cabana.
But, yeah.
And that's your man.
No. Be real.
You can do your mans like that. You can do anybody like that.
Right, but be honest. Before those two things, have you ever heard CM Punk being toxic from his fellow wrestlers? You may have heard, what's that dude's name? Tyson Kidd's.
Roman, too.
What?
Roman has some issues with CM. Listen.
All I'm saying is this. If it was really that toxic, you would have been hearing reports about it for years. You always hear that. I didn't really talk to Punk like that. He was kind of a loner. He was to himself, this, that, and third. I'm to add up everything is this. CM Punk has to understand, if he does bad in AEW, that's a mark for him for the whole business. So do you really think that CM Punk could ruin his chance?
But the thing about it, you also got to understand this. I don't like CM Punk, but the motherfucker's money. He's money. And the thing is, he's on some... how the clique was. They're not the best people to be around, but they're bringing the house money.
And then they wrestle
So
his
that's
business.
so that's what I think. That's my look upon him. And then somebody in the comments like he helped out certain people. He helped
Exactly.
out people he wanted to help.
Exactly.
But the thing about it though,
But that's every wrestler.
no.
How many
No,
times
hold
did Triple H at first help out people he wanted to help?
Hold on.
List goes on.
Hold on. And people called him toxic for that. And shoveling and burying people.
Yeah.
So the thing about wrestling, especially people that talk so highly of Roman behind the scenes.
Right.
People talk big about Big E so highly behind the scenes. Also Xavier Woods, because they help everybody.
Okay.
You see the difference?
Yeah.
You help everybody because it's an ecosystem.
Of course.
We have behind the scenes conversations all the time. If you do well, she does well, I do well, the podcast does well.
Right.
So it's about unity and about the ecosystem.
Right.
So yeah, you help a few people out. That's great. But you're not helping everybody out.
What's the overall gain of it?
Exactly.
And I just think at the end of the day for Punk, outside of it being a check, because that's really what it is. But I also think, like I said, I don't think it's long term. I think this is just his way of trying to stick it to Vince a little.
All I'm
without
saying is
sticking
this.
it to Vince.
All you is, everyone say he's toxic. I guarantee y'all gonna watch AEW. Make sure he's come up. So let's not even fake the funk.
But
Y'all
you know
talking
what's
all
crazy?
this, yeah.
People- you know
Y'all
what's
still
crazy?
gonna watch it.
You know, it's crazy.
So stop.
People really just they did it this past week on Dynamite. People just want to scream out CM Punk, just cause it's not. But you know what? It's to the point where it's not even about CM Punk anymore. It's not.
But it's still good for the business though.
It is.
I think it's good, but I guess I don't think it's about him anymore. I don't like.
Why do you think
you
it's
can
not
be
about him?
you can be like I said. They were literally. So I watched Dynamite. And we can talk about this week in wrestling too, while we are at that point, where the fans was just starting to chant CM Punk's name, and I've been in arenas where they just randomly start chanting CM Punk, and I think it's just you get to the point where you're just doing it to do it. You're not doing it for a purpose. There's no real you do have the hardcore CM Punk,
But that's
fans
a lot of chants
that want to see him. No,
Shout out to Billy Dixon,
no, I get that.
CM Punk fan.
But what I'm saying is that for him to come back, it has to be a purpose. It has to be a reason behind it, but it has to be something that once again helps the overall picture of wrestling. It can't just be
What's the question?
let's just chant it and then throw it away.
You think Adam Cole's staying?
I hope so.
Honestly,
if there's one nigga they gotta keep, it's that nigga.
yeah,
Just,
Adam Cole. Yeah, like Adam Cole can make a
whatever
meal.
he want, just send him a
But
blank check.
Adam Cole
Fuck
can
it.
make a meal, cool, but he can make more outside of WWE.
But he does a lot more. He does the shit that they do up, down, down.
Without WWE taking a share of that.
But how much would he? But how much would he really make outside of WWE without putting his body on the line as much?
He could do other stuff, video game sponsorship. He could do his Twitch
But
thing
they
again.
have the stuff like that though.
WWE
No,
has the
WWE
hand in
owns it.
there.
WWE owns it.
Exactly.
But I mean, I guess.
I just think.
Which one's better? Having 75% of your money or 100?
But having 75% of something that's consistent and I know that's gonna come in, I would take that.
But he games already.
But-
You know how much money he was making off of Twitch?
But the thing is, okay. I have no problem with him going to AEW. It's
Right.
like this.
To do
My friends are there. My beautiful wife is there. I feel comfortable there. I'm at home. Everything's gonna be great.
Right.
But he should take a chance and stay
do you
with
challenge yourself and
Yeah,
or take
take a chance
do
and
you
stay with
challenge
WWE?
red pill? Do you challenge yourself and say, you know what? I can potentially be one of the faces of this company, or pill blue. I take it. I go to my comfort zone. I go where all my friends and family is, and not really prosper the way that I can.
Exactly. No, he could prosper there.
Yeah, both,
But
yeah.
the thing about it,
can't take both pills.
But the thing about it, it's a comfortable thing that he's gonna do.
He'll be covered in both positions.
No, he
No.
won't, because WWE is a whole different
Yeah.
animal, and we all
Because what they talking about is, of course, with the $1 million on the table, that he would come up. He would not be on NXT anymore. And what they are rumored to do with the contract is kind of do the same thing they did with Cena, in a sense where he can go on both brands and he could do that. And it's like, once again, do you carry all of that weight? That's a challenge. That's not always easy.
True.
The easy route would be to go with my friends and family and all that stuff. Is, that's easy.
And the crazy thing about it, he really be doing mad stuff. Think about it. Let's say that he's not on Dark. He's not. He's not on AEW. He could still do two indie shows and make his whole revenue he did in WWE in a month.
But think about it. Why
got money
put your
for that?
body in your on the line more?
But
we don't got Adam Cole budget.
But
We
no,
can't do that.
I'm just saying, like, all right, I'm getting paid $1 million, right?
Okay.
It's the same with Nakamura. It's the same with AJ. Why everybody like that sign? And once again,
But AJ's killing it though.
Exactly.
AJ Styles is just an anomaly. So we're just gonna put that on the table.
But I think
Do you really want to work for a company where no? Let's add on to your red pill, blue pill. One guy is a boss where like all of a sudden you could be killing it, and you do one thing you don't like, bring him down the card. Example: it was Taz versus Kurt Angle at the Royal Rumble, right? Kurt Angle did everything in his power to make Taz look good. When Taz did the overhead German suplex, Kurt with a little extra with it and got himself hurt. They put the blame on Taz, and everybody, there was a whole notion where like Taz wasn't safe in the ring. And Kurt Angle looked like he is safe. Then it put in Vince's mind, he didn't like him no more. So what if in that situation, like, you got a boss like that? Then you got a boss where like, you know what? I understand who understands you for you.
And I have a boss that listens to the internet and then suspends someone for 2 months for something that I should have caught on myself, and I threw him under the bus.
they're both.
And what's the difference when like how that WWE had everybody hostage in Saudi, right?
But I'm just saying.
But
But what I'm saying is, both bosses are very similar. They both can do the same thing.
Tony Khan is reading from Vince's book.
They both, and I said the same thing about Dana White. Dana White wishes he could be Vince McMahon. At the end of the day, he's definitely, they both can do the same damage. It's just that Vince has been doing it for much longer, so therefore everybody's already quick to say, it's Vince's fault. This man over here can do the exact same thing, though. It's just, granted, as you love to always say, it's a new company. It's new. So you don't have the precedents. You don't have the cases against Tony Khan yet. So you won't give him that blame. You won't be like, oh no, he's the good guy. He's okay.
That's the one word that I ever said that he wasn't a good guy.
But what
I treat all these wrestling companies like I treat every other business.
But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is both bosses can do the same. They can do the same damage.
Listen, Adam, I think he should stay in WWE because they don't have new generation superstars like that. They're still building. AEW already has their top crop.
I agree with you.
They have their top crop already. So he would have to play the waiting game a little bit more. He has leverage right now with WWE.
Mm-hmm.
He does.
So let's say, because people was like, well, they're going to release him tomorrow, right? But hold on.
That's some hateful thinking.
No, but the thing about it,
negative.
Let's say, for instance, they do release him in a year.
Wrestling.
Let's say they release him in a year. If the rumors are correct, they're legit writing creative shit for him to do as soon as he debuts.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? And if he didn't really believe in his future in the company, he wouldn't have signed an extension.
Exactly.
When his contract was up, I think it was maybe around Mania or something.
It was last year.
They had him they spoke and they had him do an extension through SummerSlam because
He wouldn't have signed it.
Right. So that's my thing. If he didn't have an inkling, if he was like checked out completely, he wouldn't have did no extension.
But then again, it could have been on some like, let me sign this to help my mans.
It could have been that, or it could have been a number of things. But what I'm saying is, if you didn't have that a little bit of trust in the company that you work for to protect you and your brand, you wouldn't sign no extension. That's just like
I agree.
That's just like if your job was shitty and they gave you an extension and was like, listen, but you had a whole different opportunity on the platform, on the table, and your job has been shitty and you want to get out.
Okay.
You wouldn't sign no extension to help, not even to help you help nobody. You wouldn't do that.
My boy just texted because he's watching this. He's
Oh,
like,
hi.
if I'm Vince
Thank
McMahon,
you for watching.
I'm offering Adam Cole, and he got to promise you some of that money on a personal trainer. People are so mean. But he's right, though. Question.
So
We
crazy.
kind of got to go. NXT.
Damn, ready? Dang, that was a good episode.
We're getting there.
What's the future of NXT?
I just think that honestly, I think we put in too much stock into making too much of a big deal.
I kind of think the same.
Yeah, like,
bit.
oh my gosh, this, that, third. The original formula for NXT was bring up talent, the mixture of any talent and our own talent.
Let them learn
exactly.
and then bring them up.
Exactly. Simple.
So, yeah.
Reason why they have to rebrand it, because guess what? You got to appeal to the network to make it more sexier. Hey, we're making changes. Here we go. That's why I be telling people. You said this before in many episodes. When it comes to business, wrestling fans don't want to hear it.
No, at all.
They don't want to hear nothing about business, this, that,
At
third.
all.
And this is how I know that wrestling fans have not been paying attention. NXT went on a numerous rebrand. For example, it was a game show. Then after that, it turned into like basically a show that people just wrestled on. NXT Redemption. NXT Redemption turned into the show where Dusty was the head of, and Jim Ross was the announcer for that. It was still the mixture of guys from the main roster and guys they was building up from For All the Championship Wrestling. Then it evolved into the Super Indie show. Then it evolved into what it is, a television network show. Shows evolve all the time. Look at SmackDown. It evolves all the time. Look at Raw. It evolves all the time. Wrestling in general, it's evolved. So all these wrestling fans going on crazy, this, that, and third, relax. Because some of these young guys coming up, niggas are nice.
Looking at Odyssey.
Nigga is
Same
nice.
Odyssey Jones.
Come on, niggas are nice. You know,
Hey.
your type. He's a essential worker, too.
But it's.
I hate you.
I think there's an issue. There's an issue because they are on network TV.
I think there's a disconnect.
You have to still rebrand to make it sexy.
Yeah, there's
That's it.
The thing about it, NXT was home cooking. As soon as they moved to network TV, they became Fast food.
They became, they went from mom and pop home and
They
cooking.
went to the drive-thru.
Yeah, they went to a
But
drive-thru.
the thing
yeah.
about it, they didn't know how to adjust to it.
Exactly.
And I kept saying this on the podcast. They had no mega star power.
That's why
I've
Finn
said-
went down there.
Yeah, but the thing about it though, Finn's a star. I'm not gonna deny Finn's a star, but he's
Yes.
not blockbuster, so he
Yes.
can't anchor a show. If you look at AEW, and this is the one thing I will give them, they have multiple superstars.
You're right.
Who are at the show.
Right.
You can say what you. I can't stand So Glow Kenny, but he's a star. The Young Cucks.
I like the little mustache he got going on now.
the
Because
young,
Triple H used to have it. That's
Yeah.
why.
the Young Bucks. I call them the
I'll
Young
admit
Cucks
that.
for some reason. The Young Bucks, I mean.
What?
Hater. He's a hater.
They're
He's a
stars.
I mean,
you have
I'm not
Cody,
young, but-
star. Miro, star. You have stars. So the combination of that is
Question.
Wait. Hold up.
Oh,
What's your question?
You brought out Miro. Who do you think is ever going to be his streak?
Scorpio Sky.
Yeah, it has to.
What?
But you have to understand.
lying.
So let me ask you a question. Most question.
When you said Miro, it triggered me. I said, oh, shit.
Let me ask you both guys. You see now, have WWE allowed them to be mega stars?
But if you're not going to allow him to be a megastar, you need to build more stars. So they haven't built stars in NXT. So the thing about it, they haven't put. It's weird with NXT because things just move so fast.
Right.
Like they have a storyline. It's good for 3 weeks. Then they pull something else and they put somebody else
Exactly.
into it. And then which comes to like the Gargano and the Tommaso Ciampa thing. People are blaming them for NXT going downhill.
Wait, what? Where did that come
Yeah.
from? I didn't hear that.
All over the internet.
What?
It's
There was-
their fault for having great matches.
Wait, is there... Wait,
They
Having
had
great
too many
matches.
matches
having-
against each other.
Wait,
Two
for-
matches against each other. But yeah,
what?
They only wrestled like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean, to be fair, they wrestled a lot of times.
No, it was
I
like
ain't
three,
gonna
it was like
hold
3
you.
3 or 4
times.
times.
I'm
Like
not
3 or
gonna
4
hold
times.
you.
but
They wrestled way too many times.
but
that's
whoa,
that's
compared to
a
John Cena,
self-blame.
Randy Orton.
John Cena Radio had a decade of matches.
Come on, I don't hear no one's mouth. Randy Orton and John Cena wrestled every week for 5 years, basically. So I don't want to hear anyone's mouth talking about how that
No,
they had too much matches.
But I
Stop.
just don't get how that's the downfall. Like,
That's what people were saying. But the problem is that.
But
when-
that it
but
built to
think
their
about when
story.
NXT was hot though.
It built to their story, though.
But think
It
about when
makes
NXT
sense.
was hot.
Ooh,
How many stars were on NXT?
the tag team division, the women's division, the North American division, the World Championship
They
division.
didn't have it North America at the time. I'm talking about before then.
Oh,
I'm talking about
the
when
tag teams division, the women's division, and the
They had like NXT
had
at once
stars.
upon a
Oh,
time. had
and don't
the best
forget,
tag team.
they had these old school guys. Barry Coleman first food was my son Rhino.
First of all, we're gonna move on to this week in wrestling because Baron
Ooh.
Corbin,
Oscar.
Oosh.
Baron
Oosh.
fucking
Oosh.
Corbin
To
out
anybody who said that Barry Coleman is trash, you don't know wrestling.
yo,
Barry Coleman
Baron
put on
Corbin
performance. My son put on
turned-
Jadakiss numbers out
yo,
here,
he
B.
turned the page in how to be a wrestler. He is writing the next chapter into how to be a wrestler. Because literally every week, every time he's on TV now, you're just like, because we was watching Raw, and I was just like, I stopped. I was like, wait, this nigga's on SmackDown. What are you doing here? And then when he said Jinder Mahal threw him money to beat Drew McIntyre.
Exactly.
I said,
Great
this
storyline.
story that they got going on with fucking Baron Corbin is gold. I don't know where it's gonna go, but I hope they don't stop it anytime soon because that shit is just hilarious. And
Good storyline.
What I actually really did like was the promo that they did for Elias.
Oh,
I thought that was hot.
good.
Because it was a smooth, because I was like, okay, I always want to walk with Elias. That's not a problem. But now it gives the reset that I think he's been needing for a long time to now create a different character and now do something different and keep it fresh. And, I like a good reset. I ain't going to hold
Do you
y'all.
think that WWE is making the wrestlers more like plug and plays? Because it seems like how that they're just taking people gimmick and putting it somewhere else. It sounds like they're a bunch of like comic book characters at this point.
Well, I think at certain times, certain, characters it's just like when you have not a trilogy, but when you have a book that has multiple like volumes.
Yeah.
And you have one character that was in maybe that first book, but then they don't return into the sixth book. Like, you can move certain players around, I think, for when it makes sense.
You see, now, I understand that, but it makes it lose the whole individuality for the wrestlers. It makes it seem like how they're just a bunch of plug and play, meaning that we own your gimmick. Hey, this not gimmick. We're gonna take your gimmick that you invest into it and put in someone else. So how can you build stars? But I understand. But how can you build stars if you're just putting someone else's gimmick on someone else in the same time? I get it. Let's backtrack. NXT, one of the greatest underrated storylines is for the $1 million belt.
Thank you.
Underrated.
Thank you. I've been saying it.
No one's talking about it. Underrated.
I really appreciate you today because I've literally on the Jobbeteers Facebook group every single time Cameron Grimes has a promo, I'm posting this shit, and I'm like, this is the one thing no one is talking about,
Underrated.
and it is the greatest thing that's going on right now
and
that I'm invested. It's about $1 million, and that's how they should have did it with Taz's FTW
exactly.
shit. That's really how they should have did it. But Cameron fucking Grimes.
But let me finish. You notice that that's not really a plug and play. Is they take someone from the past. These are two niggas who make money.
Them put them over.
These niggas making money. So I get money type of nigga. So let me present I get money type of belt. Right there and then.
But the thing about it, once again, you're building stars. And the thing about it, both of them are stars. What it is that NXT needs to blow up. This is GM mode. Blow up the teams.
Exactly.
Start building new pieces in the future of the future of the company.
So do you think NXT is still in your second show?
What do you mean? Still third show?
NXT?
Yeah, it's a third
yes.
show.
Do you need?
You said second. That's why.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, do they need a second show?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
no.
As of right now, no.
No.
Ow.
Sorry. Sorry. They technically do have a second show, 205. Do you think they should?
Which I think they're gonna end up dissolving.
Right,
soon
but do you
anyway.
think they should rebrand 205 Live to more of
Rampage?
Yeah. No, not even Rampage, more of a real developmental, meaning that we change to something else and it's going to be real developmental over there. And then it will be on the network only. You can watch it if you want to, but no, that's stupid. That's too much work.
No, and I think eventually...
What it should be, they should just focus only on making it what it was. They should still sign independent talent.
Right.
And
that was my other thing. All these releases, I was like, they on the hunt for new talent, low key. They're not telling nobody.
No, they want talent that they can mold. They want talent that's ready right away to go into the system. Because a lot of times when you get independent guys who are 10 years in the business, 5 years in the business,
they're stuck in their ways.
They're not TV ready. They don't have those
they're stuck in their ways.
I mean, we got 2 new athletes maybe coming for the Olympics. Homegirl who won the first ever black woman and that black dude. So
I saw the black dude and I was just like,
so
diversity at its finest. What else this week in wrestling that caught you guys' eyes and ears? First of all, Edge calling Sethi Edge Light. I had me in fucking tears.
It was good.
I said that was awesome.
Every week SmackDown's enjoyable.
Fucking Big E teasing the cash-in Paul.
That was hilarious.
He just like and then laughing at him. But to that, it just goes back to when Paul Heyman first originally spoke to Big E on Talking Smack, which once again is a hidden gem that people don't talk about. And he told him, like, listen, this is what you need to do for the characters. This is what you should do. This is what you should do. So I really do think Paulie is still in his ear, helping him and navigating him through that journey of having money in the bank, too. So
and
I think
you saw him like, the one thing that son, when he was like there with the Money in the Bank, like, I still lurking on your mans, though, B. I'm still lurking on your mans.
I got you. I got your number,
Somebody
B.
said, you're not talking, well, Kiki said, you're not talking about Johnny Drip Drip and Damian Priest.
I don't care for it.
So,
don't care
listen,
for it.
I'm always about punishment Martinez. I'm not going to hold y'all. I think that it definitely is just everything is cooking for him to be United States champion at SummerSlam.
Right, but
which low-key is why we're gonna drop Sheamus and pick him up, but it's okay.
But I don't care for it because honestly, yo, I'll be very honest with you, yo, it's repetitive. Seeing Johnny Drip Drip, them find the same, it's like the same form that you have in the Thunderdome. It's repetitive. I don't give a damn. They have great chemistry. I've seen it 500 times. Enough is enough. Switch it up.
So does that go back to the whole Ciampa versus Gargano?
Listen, Ciampa only fought.
That wasn't the same.
Exactly.
That was not the same.
That was not the same thing.
That was not the same thing.
Because they was not fighting every single week. They'll fight
That was not
on
the
May,
same thing.
and after that, they'll fight again in November. There's a difference.
And then they would come again and they don't have it. And then
But
every match was different.
in terms of it being repetitive though.
No,
It wasn't. They had different type of matches. Sheamus versus John Morrison versus Damian Priest, single match every week with the same exact thing. Oh, the Miz go to the drip stick. Da, 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 da. Only thing difference there now. Oh, the Miz can walk. I don't want to watch the same thing.
But Miz walking, getting up and walking, I was like,
Okay,
oh shit,
that's it.
That's
It's
hilarious.
development, though. Development of the story.
Exactly.
You know what? You know what the better series of matches? John Morrison versus Ricochet. That was entertaining because they switched it up. Listen, I
You
always
just want different stipulations to the match.
Yes. Why am I watching the same single match over and over again?
And that's.
But
fair,
then you get tired of not getting a storyline.
you gotta pick and choose your battles.
If it's gonna lead to them fighting at SummerSlam, you're going to have to put them in a match a couple times. Now I understand they don't have to be in a match together all the time.
That's what I'm talking about. Like it'd be okay. It'd be it'd be 2 months. They fight every week in the same exact single matches, 50-50 booking. The same exact type of match every single week. And at SummerSlam, let's say at SummerSlam they fight, I'm supposed to get excited. I don't care for it.
But then what if it's their it's their idea of doing a build up to the storyline, to your point?
Yo, it's the same.
Because I mean, honestly speaking,
Yo.
when he came out with that drip, I was like, this is problematic as fuck. But I'm signing on to it. It's okay.
Yo, listen, Kiki said they only fought once. I don't care. I do not care they fought.
It's because they in the same segments and stuff, so that's why
It's repetitive. Yo, no. Bump that. They've been dealing with each other since Bad Bunny. Come on. It's annoying.
So you're going up against everything that you just said and that you believe.
Let me
in.
finish.
Because because they've been doing it since Bad Bunny.
Can I talk?
They've improved.
I let you talk.
But they've developed
I
the
let
program.
you talk. I let you talk.
Go ahead.
I let you talk. Boom. They stopped and the rest of my thing is this way. In general, I like the good chemistry. I don't give a dang. You're fighting the same people weeks on weeks on weeks. The pay-per-view, right? The original pay-per-view and back in the day when making money is like, yo, how can you get people to watch this pay-per-view? Now they don't care about that. So there's no incentive for people to even watch pay-per-view. So now Sheamus versus Damian Priest, right? Banger of the match. That kind of spoiled it for me because why you need to fight a champion just like you fight a champion to get a championship match? What about back in the day where you could introduce another character, like say him and Ricochet versus Damian Priest? Number one contendership match, go on to fight Sheamus. Why do you have to fake the champion once, then fight him again?
Because
it takes away the luster.
Because you can prove that you can beat him.
No, it takes away the luster.
Because the thing about it, you just said they literally developed Damian Priest, and then the thing about it, you forget, Miz got injured. So that messed up certain things. And then Damian was out for a little bit as well. Because they actually took him off TV for a little bit. So actually, they developed the storyline. They've been developing since April.
I just don't think you care for the storyline with it. Really
I don't care. It's crap.
And
oh my God!
I would rather,
drip stick.
but I would rather that be the premise of it.
Yo, Raw is just trash. I don't care what anyone says. There may be few bright high spot for 3 hours. Raw is trash.
Shout out to whoever did Charlotte's hair this week, though.
I don't care. Raw is trash.
Top notch.
Like,
but nobody's talking about how they've been main eventing women for the past couple of
yeah,
weeks.
since Nikki Cross won the title.
Since Nikki Cross won
dead
the
ass.
title.
I definitely noticed that.
Nobody has
Hilarious.
spoken about that.
I dead ass
they
noticed
have
that.
main evented
Because
women
I was
for
like,
the past
yo.
couple of weeks. And
They put Randall on before because you know they have that one last commercial, which I can appreciate instead of the fucking side by side shit that AEW does. But anyway, SmackDown does it too sometimes. I won't even do that. But Literally, because they had Randall versus AJ, and then they had the commercial break. Because once it's 10:15,
Right.
the last 15 minutes is gonna be a match.
Right.
And then they had Nikki Cross, and I was just like, but they've done it for the past like 3 weeks, and I was just like, shit, they've been having Nikki Cross close out Raw for the past 3 weeks
because it's selling. Number 2, as much as Raw has sucked, they've done some innovative flips to try to bring shit in because you forget they literally or the only time they had 2 black people main event Raw.
Yeah.
They've done some innovative shit. It's just that shit doesn't flow.
Niggas is not signed up.
Shit doesn't flow.
I still.
But whose fault is that though?
It's fine.
I'm not saying it's.
Listen, when you not.
I'm asking. I'm not telling.
No, but when you.
I'm asking a general question.
When you checked out for so long, and I think that's just really where fans are when it comes to Raw. When you've checked out, even when they do cool, innovative stuff, you don't see it because you've already checked out. That's just like in any relationship. When you checked out from really fucking with somebody, anything that they try to do in your good graces, are you fucking hearing them?
There is some good moments about Raw.
All I'm asking is, if you are checked the fuck out, when you checked out from old girl, and you know who I'm talking about,
Right?
And if she come at you and talking to you and all sweet and all this, are you really hearing what she's saying?
No, because
Exactly.
because your actions,
right?
Your actions.
So now I flip it and I turn it into fans. Us as fans, people that have been for months been talking about Raw suck. You checked out. Anything new and different that they could be doing or that you may not see that somebody else sees, you're not seeing it because you checked out.
Listen,
and that's okay.
I'm not saying that there hasn't been good moments, but
you're saying and it's to them. The flow of the show is very spotty,
and you could literally mix 2 weeks of Raw, and then the third week you come on, you're looking like, what the hell? Like, they still have the same matches for 2 weeks in a row? I missed 2 weeks of the same exact thing?
But then the 2 weeks you missed it, they may have not done that.
They need more storytelling.
Thank you.
Than the matches.
Thank
the thing about it, you're gonna complain that they're talking too much and not enough matches.
Not me, because when it was Raw Underground days, I loved it. They broke up.
But that was matches.
Raw Underground. Ooh,
but that was matches.
And
it was the same thing. It was
so
storytelling.
That was that. So yeah, but like I said, I think because fans have checked out, anything that they do on Raw, niggas ain't listening. Like, that's just really what it is. It don't even matter. It don't matter if Austin pops up. It don't matter if Jonathan Cena pops up on Raw for that 1 second. They still gonna, niggas are still checked out and still Raw. So it don't even matter at this point. They need to, after SummerSlam, really reevaluate how they want to move forward from now into Rumble, because that's really where the storytelling is really going to hold. You don't really count Survivor Series because traditionally it is brand versus brand. So really, you don't really get that, that.
What they should do is bring NXT up to for Survivor Series.
Again.
That was the best
Survivor Series in years.
It was.
AEW this week, they're in Pittsburgh. They're opening Rampage this week. You have Britt Baker.
Why does Christian get 2 title shots?
Get the fuck out of my head.
I think that something might happen.
And I didn't understand.
I think something might happen.
Because I thought he was gonna.
You were so confused in the chat, and I was just like, well, I'm just gonna let him. I'm gonna let whoever wants to take this one.
Because I thought he was defending about like both belts on Rampage.
No.
And I kept telling our friend Keith, Keith, yeah. You in the chat. I was like, nah, he's defending both. And Keith was like, no.
So those that did not watch Dynamite, Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage will be the main event for All Out in Chicago. But this week on Rampage, first episode, you have Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage for the Impact title.
Honestly speaking, Christian should win.
Impact Championship, yeah.
No bullshit.
Yeah.
Dark Order should have won the fucking tag titles the other night. No bullshit.
I'm not really feeling Dark Order like that.
First of all, points would have been made.
Right.
As stars.
So, to be fair.
But
I'm not feeling Dark Order as stars.
But it's because they essentially do need it's not to replace Brody. But they need somebody in that position
to bring him,
to be able. And Hangman, for the most part, was that person. But because essentially, whatever to that. But essentially because Hangman's going to go and do his own thing and ride into the sunset, begin to do his cowboy shit, they essentially still need someone to be the placeholder as the leader of the Dark Order. But yeah, I think Dark Order should have won them tag titles.
Okay.
Because then it would have been the start of the falling of the Elite. It would have built into
Yeah.
that story.
And
Cause then on Friday, do you really think Christian Cage is gonna win the title?
yes,
He should.
he should. Yes.
Okay, so then next week, if he doesn't,
Okay.
then what?
Or something might happen.
You know what should happen? Moose comes in.
There you go.
Moose runs down.
Yeah.
Choo, choo.
This nigga said,
and then he runs down,
choo.
helps him win, and then Christian's gonna be like, and then he puts Christian's arm on, regular shit.
Yeah.
And he puts Christian's arm
This
on
nigga
there,
said,
and then
choo,
Christian gets up and then he goes,
choo.
"What happened?" And then Moose goes. Then in 2 weeks,
Choo,
Christian
choo.
versus Moose on Impact for the Impact title.
I'd rather see that.
You see what I did there?
Like Christian better win the Impact title because for one, it'll bring more notoriety into Impact. And like Impact did what's name justice back in the day when he was an
That's what I'm saying.
So it makes sense.
So toss up the belt, and then
Yeah.
you get Moose versus Christian,
Right. And
and
like,
then now you really have a crossover.
yeah, and like AEW championship, so something could happen. Something could happen.
So Rampage. Listen, but if Christian Cage don't win, I want to next week when we record, I want to hear y'all thoughts on that because then it really, to me, if he loses, I'm like, so then what's the point of?
But then why is he
facing
why is he finding him at All Out though?
Because he's a number one contender
Yeah.
to their ranking system.
But then why go for the Impact title? But why go for the Impact title?
Keep being confused because that's where we all
because
are.
he
We're
tried to take
confused.
all his gold from him.
Keep being confused. It's okay. No, stop. Because the more questions you ask, the more confused
Yo,
you're
listen,
going to be.
listen,
So stop
listen.
asking
I'm not gonna
questions.
fancy book this. I'm gonna be a patient wrestling fan and watch it on Friday.
That's fair. And then you also have Britt Baker versus
watch it on Friday.
Red Velvet.
Why not?
Oh, because we be at the. Oh no, we gonna watch it on my phone. I got Sling. We good. I got it, kid. We gonna watch it on my phone. Because I definitely was like, fuck, we about to be at that show. I mean, that we love to be at. But I was like, damn, Rampage, I kind of want to watch it.
I remember I was at what show were we at? We were at some show, and I think it was the debut of it was something on TV.
We were at Ridgeville. We was at Ridgeville Park.
And then I
something
remember I was
happened.
sitting next to Queen of the Ring, and she was watching something else on her phone. I was like, I see you, Ma. What you watching? It was I forgot what pay per view or something people were. It was like a
Something big.
yeah.
But then also too, I did like though that Jurassic, I guess 2/3 of Jurassic Express is gonna challenge the Young Bucks next week for the tag team titles in Houston. And then you have Sting and
Where
Darby.
is my man's
I don't know.
Who?
Marco Stunt?
I was about to say Rocco. I'm so
Where's Marco?
Over
I
myself.
don't know. I haven't seen him in a minute.
Where's my man's Marco?
And then
Stunt?
you
Look him
have
up.
next week on Dynamite, you have the Texas Tornado match of Ever Rising, because that's how that always going to be for me.
Darby Allin and his
Darby
daddy.
Allin and
his,
Sting.
His daddy, Sting.
With the Ever Rising, the vest that they have reminds me of the Nasty Boy vest. And I just always look at them like, what the fuck are we
They're
wearing?
not ever rising now.
No, they are like
No, but that's what they were.
Yeah, but they're not. That's not. What is it? 2.0. What is it?
I don't know what the-
2.0.
2.0,
Stupid.
yeah.
I don't even know. Shout out to Daniel
Did they
Garcia
get
for being
released
on
and
there.
then come on there?
Yeah.
they got released. Yeah,
There was no 30 days.
yeah, they did.
It was that fast.
30
Yeah,
days in a month,
probably.
Who do they know at
I mean, it's
to
the
get
Indies.
signed to get signed that quickly?
It's the Indies. What you expect? And then what else is going on in the wonderful world of wrestling before we do wrap it up?
Hope they're not signed, right?
They are.
I don't know.
No.
They're not signed.
The press conference
because
to come out.
You
It's
know
probably per
what?
appearance, per DM.
Yeah, that's what's supposed to.
Because because they didn't have the
a lot of people are per diem.
Because think about it, they didn't have the what's
you
name is
get
All
smart.
Elite.
So hold
That's
up.
old school.
Wait,
It's too
time out.
what?
Hold on, wait, time out. This nigga
Yo,
Tony Khan
we just fucked him up.
is fucking genius.
Yeah,
But then
it's not
again-
bad.
No, hold on.
But
Wait,
a lot
wait,
of people do other stuff though.
Wait. This is some genius level shit.
So he puts all the money, the big bucks, into like contracts, but then everyone else,
He only signed like 20
it's like,
people.
It's just low key. It's a whole bunch of part timers.
He only signed like 20
AEW
people.
got a whole bunch of part timers.
He only really signed 20 people. And everybody else is like, when you on TV, I'm giving you bread.
Yeah, basically.
Yo, listen. Some guy's name Jonathan. She's saying that you're All Elite from that picture. Listen, just address it real quick.
Wait, what? All of these?
He took a picture with the Young Bucks and thing.
Yeah, I am all
Oh,
elite.
that was. Oh no.
All right.
No,
So
I am. Stop saying that. I have officially signed in my head.
no,
with
this
all
nigga,
elite
this
wrestling.
nigga, this
There you
nigga's
go.
per diem.
I'm per DM.
He per
so
diem in
when
his
I finally
head.
show up,
He per diem
I
in
get the
Tony
check.
Khan's head.
Tony Khan holla at me.
I cannot tell. No, that was just a picture that he took with them almost like 2 years ago.
No. It was recently.
It was not.
I was coming back from backstage. I was like, yo, guys, I'm part of here. I'm here now, baby.
This nigga said,
and they were like, yo, let me be the first black elite.
This nigga said, let me. Well,
let me be the first black person on the elite.
The only one.
The only one. But
yeah,
this nigga Tony Khan.
Okay. Tony Khan got a whole bunch of part-timers.
He has part-timers on his
Yeah.
I like really. If this is true,
it is.
If this is per DM, I really feel he only has like 20 people signed.
Yeah. It's not until when you see the person says like all like signed to like, so that's why forever and a day we was like, yo, Thunder Rosa signed. Like we were confused until the official picture of her came out of her being signed. But every time she was on AEW, that's when she got a check for AEW.
Which is fine because she was on there a lot. And then she also worked backstage too.
Yeah.
I think she color commentated for the Spanish announce team.
Speaking of color commentator, before we go, what are your thoughts on a 4-man commentary team?
That's stupid.
I never seen it before, but
Oh, you about to?
No.
This Friday on Rampage.
I'm open-minded because, listen, this was the same person who grew up with a 2-man commentating booth from WWE. Now, throughout the years, it turned to a 3-man, and I love it. So,
but is 4 too much?
I don't know yet.
No, I prefer 2 because what
I do prefer 2.
No, because what I've seen with Pat McAfee
and Michael Cole
has been gold.
But
because the thing about it. You have one person being the color commentator that's doing all the moves.
Right.
You have another person that's kind of like doing like the side stuff about it and being like
the fun facts, because that's how NXT is. Like, because everybody in the beginning used to bitch and moan about Beth Phoenix being on commentary, and I felt like I was the only one that was like, nah, I actually like her on commentary because you have Vic Joseph in the middle, you have because he's always gonna be Wade Barrett to me. You got Wade Barrett, and then you had Beth Phoenix. Not only did you have a female presence and understanding of the business from her point of view, but then she also will always throw in old rivalries or old things that she used to say.
Canada. That's why 2.0.
What?
And they're really good friends with the Bucks. That's why they got signed.
But the 2.0 part still doesn't. I don't get it.
I don't really care about that part. But I'm saying I just didn't understand how they got signed so quickly.
Oh, come on, they had an in.
Yeah.
You could answer that yourself.
Yeah,
you just didn't know who.
It just threw me off.
I knew they had the end.
I don't see a big deal.
Because literally,
it's not a big deal.
Because literally, it was the Rick Rude syndrome, where it was like 1 week they were on TV and the next week they were on a different show.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, what happened to get them? But it's fine.
Anywho, but I just wanted to real quick the 4-person commentary.
Because listen, at the end of the day,
it's a lot of.
It is, but then again, WWE. How many times did they have a 4-man or sometimes 5-man? When they have other wrestlers come in every once in a while. The whole New Day, that was 5 people, like 6 people talking at some point. So when they have one single wrestler, Raw, when Charlotte comes to commentary or someone else, that's 4-man.
But
so technically, we always have been introduced to it. So again, because
is it a difference between being a guest commentator for a match or having 4 people for an entire show?
True, but we're like somewhat still familiar with it.
It's the thing is, the 4th person doesn't really say anything most of the time.
Right.
But then
you're just paying somebody a check.
Because,
is Big Show about to wrestle?
He probably is.
Yeah.
Because on Rampage you got, I think it's Chris Jericho, Taz, Excalibur,
and Mark Henry.
Off rip, I'm like, that's a lot of niggas. And that's a lot of niggas that like to talk. So at that point, somebody ain't gonna be talking.
They said that it's for an hour, but listen.
Wait, for an hour?
Yeah.
Rampage is for an hour?
Yeah, it's an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
I
thought it was 2.
Ain't nobody watching wrestling until midnight.
No.
Nah, I did. I told y'all when Dynamite was on Friday nights, and literally I would go from SmackDown and watch Dynamite. It was I thought it was dope.
I used to fall asleep.
But anywho, so we're gonna end the show off once again next weekend, SummerSlam weekend.
Wait, question.
Oh, Kiki, you're gonna be in town. If you still are, make sure to let us know where you're gonna be at and stuff, so we can all link and stuff. But before I end off the show,
someone said this in the group chat. Shout out to Andre for this one, the one I grew up with. He said that, do you think that all the top stars in Attitude Era was able to prosper with today's booking?
It's the same booking.
It's just
low-key the same
remixed.
It's low-key
because wrestling is recycled. So yeah,
it's low-key the same booking, But the only difference is that they're letting people become mega stars.
Okay.
Because I don't think they would have let The Rock and Stone Cold be as big as they were, but also Vince had no choice.
True.
Because he was in competition, which is why I like seeing AEW flourish.
Me too.
Because the more that they flourish, it forces WWE hand to having a better product.
And on that note, we're going to end the show. Once again, SummerSlam weekend will be at Legends. We'll be once again back at Legends. For All Out, Labor Day weekend, and then that Friday the 10th, Legends for the happy hour to SmackDown, the after party to SmackDown. If you're not going to be in the building, you can be at Legends for that. Anything else? We Are Wrestling's first show in Richfield Park. Once again, more information, you can hit up Pete from Your Sports for more information on that. Once again, we are sponsoring the Ken Broadway versus Richard Holiday from MLW match. So we're really excited about that. Once again, thank you to every single person that has been supporting the Jobber Tears podcast and that supported jobberslam. It would have been nothing without you guys. So please understand that without you guys, there is no us, there is no show, there is no nothing. So thank you so much. And then once again, you can watch jobberslam on your own in the comfort of your home on Title Match Network. So shout out to Title Match Network, which was one of our top sponsors of the show. Where you can watch it. They do offer a free 7-day trial period for Title Match Network. So make sure to just get that free trial so you can watch jobberslam at least 7 times. And then if you decide to move on, then that's on you. Anything else before I go? No, I think that's about it. As always, I'm Janelle from HR here with Sir Wickers and Mr. Black. # Black Excellence. # We Are Out.
I was over, got the hands in motion. If you go with rolling, no need to focus. Traveling states and over oceans. You gotta wait till your coast chosen. Trying to have lines outside the show like Harry Potter releases at Barnes & Noble.